be honest with you, I'm not worried about Turkey. We're on PBC. We're in the U.S. We're here throwing fights here in Vegas. That's what I care about. I care about headlining fights for PBC.
You know, at the end of the day, I don't think I'd change anything about David Benavidez. I just want to watch him fight.
After the most thrilling Bivol versus Beterbiev, when the boxing world was looking for an even more thrilling bout between Benavidez and Bivol, one statement from Turki Alalshikh has ruined all their fantasies of them watching two of the best fighters in the ring against each other.
You know, he's fighting back, right? That's what he said. But at the end of the day, Mauricio Suleiman, he's a corrupt-ass motherfucker. I personally don't fuck with him, right?
This decision has not only impacted the immediate plans of these fighters, but has also reshaped the landscape of potential high-profile fights, particularly involving Canelo Alvarez.
As far as His Excellency Turki Alalshikh, he made a comment saying that he's no longer interested in putting on Bivol versus David Benavidez.
However, Alalshikh recently announced his disinterest in the Bivol-Benavidez fight, stating unequivocally, "I am no longer interested in Bivol-Benavidez and I will not bid on it." He further advised Bivol against procrastination, hinting at the rapidly evolving nature of boxing promotions and the fleeting opportunities within the sport. The reasons behind Alalshikh's withdrawal appeared to be multifaceted. Strategically, he has expressed ambitions to expand boxing events beyond Saudi Arabia, targeting markets in the United States and Mexico. Collaborations with established entities like Golden Boy Promotions, led by Oscar de la Hoya, are reportedly in the pipeline, aiming to globalize the reach of Riyadh Seasons boxing initiatives. This broader vision might have influenced his decision to step back from the Bivol-Benavidez matchup, redirecting resources and attention to more expansive projects. A prevailing theory among some enthusiasts suggests that Turki Alalshikh's reluctance to promote the David Benavidez versus Dmitry Bivol fight stems from a desire to diminish the World Boxing Council's WBC influence. This perspective posits that Alalshikh aims to challenge the WBC's authority by not supporting a bout they mandated, thereby asserting greater control over boxing promotion.
But this whole thing that, you know, that Turkey, the only reason, look, check it out, right? The only reason that Turkey is kind of going, or he's not trying to make this fight between Benavidez and Bivol is because the WBC, they mandated this fight, right? And he's pretty much, Turkey, he's trying to take away the power from the WBC, man. So
this situation has led to concerns that Benavidez is caught in the crossfire of a broader power struggle within the sport. Fans express frustration over Benavidez's obstacles, viewing this development as another instance of misfortune in his career. Despite his undeniable talent and determination, Benavidez's path has been fraught with challenges, including missed opportunities and external conflicts beyond his control.
It's very, very unfortunate, bro, that Benavidez got caught between, you know, between this little war that they got going on, right? And now when they, you know, the WBC finally mandated the fight, we got this shit happening, right? So it's just unfortunate, bro. I've been telling you, Benavidez, man, this guy's got to go through some crazy ass obstacles, bro. Like, just a lot of bad luck with him, you know, coming up under the Canelo era. And now with this shit, it seemed like he was finally going to get his shot to do something. And you got this bullshit happening, right?
David Benavidez recently shared insights into his interactions with Turki Alalshikh, a key influencer in boxing promotions. Benavidez recounted his initial meeting with Alalshikh, emphasizing that he is really trying to make the biggest fights possible happen, so he was happy to hopefully be a part of this in the future.
Yeah, so it was good. It was my first time meeting Turkey, so it was a great, you know, great first meeting we had, and we were just talking about, you know, maybe the future of me fighting with Riyadh season, and then also Crawford was there talking about, you know, his future fights, and Teofimo was talking about future fights too. So, you know, Turki Alalshikh is really trying to make the biggest fights possible happen. So, you know, we're happy to hopefully be a part of this in the future.
However, despite the positive tone of these discussions, Alalshikh later expressed a lack of interest in promoting a fight between Benavidez and Dmitry Bivol. This shift highlights the complexities and fluid nature of boxing promotions, where initial enthusiasm can be tempered by various strategic considerations. In the boxing community, opinions vary regarding David Benavidez's potential opponents. Some, like Showbiz the Adult, express a preference for a matchup between Benavidez and Dmitry Bivol over a bout with Canelo Alvarez. This perspective aligns with Benavidez's own mindset, as he has consistently demonstrated a willingness to face top-tier fighters to solidify his legacy.
David Benavidez versus Bivol. is almost as exciting for me as Canelo versus David Benavidez. I'm not gonna lie. The reason why I like it is I always liked what Evander Holyfield did when it came to Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson fight Alex Stewart, I'ma fight Alex Stewart. Mike Tyson fight Buster Douglas, I'ma fight Buster Douglas. You can't beat Bivol, I whoop his ass. Not only am I showing that I beat Canelo, but I'm also showing that my legacy is important. I'm greater than Canelo. I just love that attitude.
Showbiz the Adult recently shared his perspective on Turki Alalshikh's decision not to bid on the Dmitry Bivol versus David Benavidez fight. He noted that Alalshikh is more interested in organizing a trilogy fight between Bivol and Artur Beterbiev. Showbiz emphasized that the decision to bid on the fight doesn't solely rest with Alalshikh, highlighting that other promoters, such as Premier Boxing Champions, PBC, have the opportunity to bid.
But it's not on Turki Alalshikh. It's really on Bivol, right? Bivol's the undisputed champ. It's really on him, right? And that's the fight he wants over Bivol versus mandatory in the Mexican monster, David Benavidez. But the thing is, it didn't bother me that he said that, because what he was saying was that he's not going to bid on the fight. He can't control the fight. He can't make the fight not happen.
He also addressed misconceptions about Alalshikh's influence, suggesting that fans might be attributing too much power to him. Showbiz the Adult believes that while Turki Alalshikh has chosen not to bid on the Bivol versus Benavidez fight, this opens the door for other promoters to step in, potentially leading to a more dynamic and competitive bidding process.
Y'all have given Turki Alalshikh too much power. Like, His Excellency is saying, I'm not going to bid on that. Someone else can, right? PBC, that David Benavidez is a PBC fighter. They can bid on it, right? Or anybody else who wants to fight. He's saying that he's not going to bid on it. But PBC can. If y'all want Benavidez versus Bivol, hopefully someone bids on the fight. Turki isn't. And if you don't like Turki,
Now, if we talk about Dmitry Bivol, he is holding a professional record of 24 wins and 1 loss, has been a dominant force in the light heavyweight division. His recent rematch against Artur Beterbiev in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, culminated in a majority decision victory, allowing Bivol to reclaim the undisputed light heavyweight title. This bout was a testament to Bivol's resilience and strategic prowess, especially considering the contentious nature of their first encounter, which many believed Bivol had won despite the official decision favoring Beterbiev. He responded to Benavidez's call-out. Bivol acknowledged the super middleweight contender's skills and expressed respect for him as a fighter. However, Bivol emphasized that his current focus remains on his own objectives within the light heavyweight division.
Spar, it's very different than a fight. I have a lot of sparrings when I wasn't good, when I was good. I'm not seeing on the sparring, it's like on the fight. I'm checking, I'm just trying to do something, I just have some mission for one sparring and I try to do it. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. But with Benavidez it was good sparrings. I can't say that something was not good.
Oscar De La Hoya, a prominent promoter in boxing, has recently shared his insights on potential matchups involving David Benavidez, Dmitry Bivol, and Canelo Alvarez. De La Hoya expressed a clear preference for Benavidez in a hypothetical bout against Bivol, stating, "I would favor Benavidez." Oscar De La Hoya expressed that such a fight would be highly intriguing and could significantly enhance Bivol's legacy. De La Hoya favored Benavidez in this potential bout, highlighting his high punch output, ring intelligence, and effective footwork. He mentioned that Benavidez's style could present significant challenges for Bivol, making it a compelling matchup.
I think Benavidez is very interesting. I think that's a hell of a fight. Wow. I mean, if he's willing to do that, if he's willing to be great and fight Benavidez, my gosh, that would solidify, Bivol's, Hall of Fame career for sure. But look, yeah, he proves to the world that he's the best at 175. So. I think that's a hell of a fight. That would be a hell of a route to take.
De La Hoya's confidence in Benavidez stems from several factors. He highlighted Benavidez's high punch output, ring intelligence, and ability to cut off the ring as key advantages. De La Hoya noted that Bivol's movement, which has been effective against other opponents, might not suffice against Benavidez's relentless pressure. He remarked that Benavidez's style could pose significant challenges for Bivol, suggesting that the Mexican-American's approach would be difficult for Bivol to handle. title.
That's a tough one because, I mean, I would go with Benavidez because he's more active. He throws more punches. He has better footwork, obviously, than Dmitry Bivol. You know, he's smarter up there. He knows how to think, knows how to adjust. Yeah, I would favor Benavidez.
David Benavidez, aptly nicknamed the Mexican Monster, remains undefeated with a stellar record of 30 wins, 24 of which came by knockout. Initially competing in the super middleweight division, Benavidez faced challenges in securing a bout against Canelo Alvarez, prompting him to move up to light heavyweight. His debut in this weight class was marked by an impressive victory over Alexander Gvozdyk, solidifying his position as a formidable contender. The World Boxing Council, WBC, recognized his ascent by mandating a title defense for Bivol against Benavidez, granting a 30-day negotiation window before proceeding to a purse bid. Dmitry Bivol has acknowledged David Benavidez's desire to face top-tier opponents, including himself and Artur Beterbiev. He expressed respect for Benavidez's ambitions, stating that such aspirations demonstrate confidence and a drive to achieve more in the sport. However, recent developments have led to speculation among fans regarding Bivol's future opponents.
To be honest, but I respect him as a fighter. He's a really great fighter, and what he's saying that he wants to fight me and Beterbiev, it means that he's a great fighter. He's confident and he wanna achieve more and more. It's good, and what I could tell.
After his victory over Artur Beterbiev, Bivol hinted at a potential trilogy fight, which has caused some fans to question whether he is avoiding a matchup with Benavidez. A post from Bivol on social media, stating he is waiting for the next move from his team, has fueled these speculations. Some fans perceive this as an indication that Bivol may prioritize a third fight with Beterbiev over a bout with Benavidez. But now for Bivol, the absence of Alalshikh's promotional support could mean exploring alternative avenues to fulfill the WBC mandate, or potentially facing the prospect of vacating the title. Benavidez, on the other hand, finds himself at a crossroads, seeking high-caliber opponents to cement his legacy. The dissolution of plans for a Bivol fight redirects attention to other potential adversaries, most notably Canelo Alvarez. Benavidez has openly expressed his desire to fight the best in the sport, including Canelo Alvarez. In an interview with ESPN, he stated, "When I was a little kid, I had made a promise to myself that I was gonna go up against the best fighters, and I was gonna beat the best fighters." He emphasized that his motivation lies in accomplishments rather than financial gain, reflecting his commitment to sporting excellence and his determination to leave a legacy comparable to boxing legends. Despite his aspirations, Benavidez has acknowledged the challenges in securing a fight with Alvarez. He remarked, "If Canelo doesn't ever want to fight me, then I don't need to fight him. I really don't care." Canelo Alvarez, a luminary in the boxing world, has held multiple titles across various weight classes, including the super middleweight division. Despite the clamor from fans and pundits alike, a matchup between Alvarez and Benavidez has remained elusive.
He brings nothing to the table for me. He brings just 25 pounds more in the night, the fight on the night. That's it. I don't need to fight anybody. I don't need to prove anybody anything. Because I remember when this happened with Golovkin, and then it happened with this. So I don't need to prove anything with anybody.
Reports suggest that Alvarez declined a substantial $200 million offer to face Benavidez, leading to speculations about his reluctance to engage with the younger, formidable challenger.
Canelo in Riyadh in May, the big fight in the history of boxing. In September, don't miss with the Lion.
Dmitry Bivol has recently commented on David Benavidez's potential move to the light heavyweight division, particularly in the context of a possible fight with Canelo Alvarez. Bivol expressed uncertainty about the current dynamics between Benavidez and Alvarez, suggesting that Benavidez's decision to move up in weight might be influenced by a perceived lack of interest from Alvarez in facing him. He stated, "I don't know how things are going on between him and Canelo now. Maybe he knows something. This is why he moved up. He's a big guy. It's the decision of his team, and I respect his decision. They're moving up because it's looking like Canelo is not interested in fighting David." The contrasting styles of Alvarez and Benavidez present a compelling narrative. Alvarez's calculated, methodical approach would be tested against Benavidez's unyielding aggression. This stylistic dichotomy has led to varied opinions among boxing experts. Former world champion Paulie Malignaggi, for instance, opined that Benavidez could pose Alvarez's toughest challenge yet, suggesting that the younger fighter's relentless style might disrupt Alvarez's rhythm and defensive strategies. Canelo Alvarez has faced criticism for his selection of opponents, with some observers suggesting he avoids challenging mandatory contenders. Boxing analyst Paulie Malignaggi highlighted this issue, noting that while Alvarez accepted a mandatory defense, he has not faced more formidable mandatory challengers like David Benavidez or Jermall Charlo during their peak. Malignaggi remarked, "When the mandatory becomes someone that makes your bagels down the street, Canelo fights him. So was Jermall Charlo when Jermall was hot." Boxing analyst Teddy Atlas has critiqued Canelo Alvarez for selectively choosing his opponents to maximize earnings while avoiding certain challengers. Atlas remarked, "Canelo picks his spots. He picks his spots and avoids a lot of guys to get the most money."
Of why I say Canelo, and I'm not saying this is fault, not his fault, whatever, but why Canelo picks his spots, why he is, we know he's the cash king, we know he's the pay-per-view king, but why I think there's other greater Mexican fighters in the history of Mexico, and there's so many of them, but he picks his spots and avoids a lot of guys to get the most money. I'm not saying he's not a terrific fighter, but I'm also saying that is a fact. Exhibit A.
He suggests that although Alvarez is a talented fighter, this strategy differentiates him from other Mexican boxing legends who faced all challengers. Atlas further asserts that to be considered the best super middleweight, Alvarez must face top contenders like David Benavidez. He stated, "If you don't fight Benavidez, you're not the greatest 168 pounds fighter of all time." As of now, a full fight between Canelo Alvarez and David Benavidez has not taken place even after years and years of debate around it. Notably, Floyd Mayweather Jr. has publicly criticized Alvarez, accusing him of avoiding a fight with Benavidez. These comments have fueled ongoing debates among fans and analysts regarding Alvarez's choice of opponents and the potential dynamics of a bout against Benavidez.
If it was up to me, like we keep on saying, we want to see Benavidez. Canelo, hell of a fighter, but my personal opinion, he's ducking Benavidez. You know, that's just my personal opinion, and I'm allowed to speak my mind. That's just what it is. We want to see Benavidez. Let's make it happen.
Boxing analyst Tim Bradley has openly challenged Canelo Alvarez to confront David Benavidez, questioning Alvarez's reluctance to accept the bout. Bradley interprets Alvarez's hesitation and his substantial financial demands as signs of respect for Benavidez's capabilities.
You just gotta be a man, right? If you got another man coming to your house, coming in your sport, whatever you want to call it, bro, and he's calling your name, he's doing the same thing you doing, he fighting, and you the guy, you the cash cow, you the face of boxing, and you don't answer that call, bro, that says something about you, man.
Bradley also criticized Alvarez's reported demand of $150 million to $200 million to fight Benavidez, suggesting that if Alvarez believes Benavidez hasn't accomplished enough to warrant a fight, such a high asking price is contradictory. Bradley implied that Alvarez's financial stipulations might be a strategy to avoid facing a formidable opponent, thereby preserving his status and legacy without taking on the risk associated with fighting Benavidez.
You know what I'm saying? You supposed to stand up. You supposed to say, oh, really? Oh, you think you better than me? Okay. He has proven himself enough. But Benavidez, man, Benavidez is disrespecting him. He's telling him to grow some balls. He's doing all of that, bro. And if you being Canelo Alvarez and you have any pride in your dignity and you and your skills, I don't care. I don't care. Step up and face that man, bro.
In this intricate tapestry of boxing, the decisions of promoters like Alalshikh play a pivotal role in shaping the careers of fighters and the entertainment value delivered to audiences worldwide. The withdrawal from the Bivol Benavidez fight underscores the complexities inherent in organizing high-stakes bouts, where financial considerations, strategic visions, and individual fighter trajectories must align to bring marquee matchups to fruition. In a recent interview, Jose Benavidez Sr., father and trainer of David Benavidez criticized Canelo Alvarez for not facing his son, despite David being a mandatory challenger. He expressed frustration over Alvarez's reluctance, suggesting that Canelo is avoiding the fight. He explained how they are not focused on Canelo if he is not showing any interest in the fight, as they have bigger names and bigger opportunities for Benavidez waiting.
I don't think the Canelo fight is going to happen. It's a mandatory. I don't think he doesn't want to fight David. He doesn't want to pass the torch over to David. I think Canelo, man, it's at the end of his career. You know, he will never face the Mexican monster. There's no way. He knows he's young. He'll rather fight other fighters and never even pass the torch to a Mexican fighter. So that fight is out of the window. I don't think that's going to happen. I think he's just going to leave all those outs there, but he's going to be criticized by the Mexican people. Why didn't he fight the Mexican monster, you know?
Whether it's a clash with Canelo Alvarez, a showdown with Dmitry Bivol, or a high-stakes battle against Artur Beterbiev, Benavidez is positioning himself for greatness. But with so many variables in play, the question remains, who will step up and face the Mexican monster next? Do you think Canelo will finally accept the challenge, or will Benavidez carve his legacy by taking on the champions at 175? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're passionate about boxing and don't want to miss any updates, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you're always the first to know about the latest in the fight game.